car.
Oh yeah, straight up.
I like how his homing device happens to just stay on.
It's like, why did he need a sniper rifle with her? That you know?
Yeah, I was like, is he gonna shoot him? I got a better thing. Why when he was on the? Why is it when he was on the? Why is it when he was on the freaking? I don't know, the crane thing, looking down. Why the hell were they playing like freaking Leonidas was about to go into battle and shit? Right
I was like, fuck yeah, he's about to fuck some shit up.
I actually didn't like that. I was like. Wrong music for like the time.
Well, I mean, it was Zack Snyder.
All right, welcome to another episode of Well, There It Is, where we talk about approximate knowledge of many geeky things. There are 7 of us.
You count Eli.
Eli's the fact
1, 2,
checker.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.5.
Depending
on who you ask.
There's 9 people technically. Eli's here.
Remember Eli.
We are doing a Batman vs Superman review.
Spoilers.
Spoiler.
It makes it more fun that way. So yeah, I'm Caesar.
Roger.
Sergio. Saul.
Danny.
John.
Daniel.
We have 2 special guests, Daniel, which has been with us before, and has Sergio, have you been here before?
No,
That's his first podcast.
It's his first podcast.
Well, he's been in the room, but remember he was.
Hey everyone.
We're popping his chair.
Who's that sexy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're also doing a podcast.
Do we say his
Then
name?
Eli.
Oh,
Eli
Eli is our
Eli
fact
the
checker.
fact checker.
Fact checker.
He's so popular, he's gonna get his own Facebook page. Eli and Chico, like we've got everything.
Someone's gonna make a parody Twitter. Alright, so Batman vs Superman. Initial thoughts.
So the rating on it, guys. How many out of
The rating is accurate.
It's okay. We'll start off with the ratings.
Would you pay me a lot to say negative
Because we work for Disney.
I am a Marvel fan, and I say that Disney sent me an official letter to give this shitty podcast review.
No, I mean it's everything we talked about. You know, there's too much going on. Well,
It didn't live up to the hype.
It was convoluted.
I wanted to say it was too much going on, but honestly, there was
convoluted.
a whole lot of nothing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
It
like a
was
whole lot of nothing. Like everyone's staring at each other.
Yeah.
They stare at us. We stare at the screen. We stare at people next to us.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, fight scene. All right, cool. At least now we're back on track.
I know people talked, and I don't know what they were talking about.
Oh my god.
No. They did a lot of staring. And they did a lot of like
brooding. Batman did a lot of brooding.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
he did
to be
brood a
fair,
lot.
Batman
It's always
is the best
Batman.
part.
if he doesn't
Yeah.
brooch, I'm
Yeah.
disappointed.
Brooch.
He doesn't broach.
Yeah, I guess you can look it up. Fact checker.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was just it dragged.
It dragged. I felt somewhat bored.
No
Yes.
plot, plot, anything. Like
The plot didn't
was
start
just-
until about 2 hours in.
Yeah.
It was just like one thing after another,
Yep.
after another, and it was kind of like, okay, there's like a story coming, and then they throw this in here, and it's just kind of like it just threw another little story. It's like, okay, well, what the fuck would happen in this story?
Best way I can relate
Excuse
it
my
is
language.
I did not have fun watching this movie.
Yeah.
I don't think the audience did either.
That's
to
what I'm
be
saying,
honest.
like,
there was
We did
barely.
not.
They
There's-
clapped whenever
I
there
think-
was action just because they finally got.
Yeah, they finally got
I
released.
felt kind of
anxious.
Yeah,
But,
no, yeah.
yeah.
Going in there, I felt like there was a huge ass weight on my chest because I was like, "Oh, this could be horrible.
Yep.
This could be really bad. This could be great.
I
this
thought-
could be
I
like
thought-
amazing." But it was pretty meh.
been a lot worse. Though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right,
it
yeah,
could
right.
have.
That definitely
I went
could've
in
been a lot
there
worse.
And I was like, damn, this can easily be fucked.
I think honestly,
No,
the only
no.
thing the saving grace was that they didn't butcher Batman. If they had butchered Batman, the whole thing
Let
would
me
have
say
collapsed
that
under itself.
Ben Affleck has looked like so much like Batman than anyone else has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
Oh,
know.
He's
like,
got the
I have
chin.
no. I
Yeah,
have
he's got
no
the chin, he's
qualms
got the
about
height, he's got
Yes.
the freaking.
One
He
thing
has
though,
the little
The
stubble.
voice
going.
changer
yes,
thing.
I didn't like the voice changer though.
You did
What?
I did not.
I liked it. I
After
liked
the
it.
Nolan trilogy, I was like, can we just hear a natural voice as Batman?
I think
no, we
growling's
can't.
kind of
You need-
silly, dude.
Yeah,
not
growling
growling, though,
is
that's the
silly.
thing. I
Growling
when
is silly.
Arrow does it
do
better.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Like, I'm tired of the growl that he had, Nolan's Batman did, and I'm tired of the voice changer from Arrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the thing.
Arrow's fault.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I kind of just wanted him to like have like I don't know.
I mean, Ben
A
Affleck
normal
does have a
voice?
good
Yeah,
Batman
a
voice.
normal
He
voice.
Does, I
Like,
think
He does have a
That's
good
what I'm saying.
Batman
He
voice.
passed it off.
You know what his voice changer should have been? It should have been Conroy.
In the future, when our children
you're
watch
not wrong.
movies,
If
Batman
they're willing-
movies, that'll happen. Hopefully, they'll be like,
If they're willing to go that far, like with the voice changer for
Yeah.
Batman, just make him sound like
Just make Conroy do the voiceover. That would have been ideal.
That would be insane.
To the best of our memory, let's try to break it down from the very beginning.
Yeah.
We felt like we were going to have a heart attack when we saw...
Well, let's skip.
Oh,
skip all of Act 1 and 2
Oh.
because of nonsense,
Oh.
and just get Act 3.
So the opening credits like started with fucking Batman's backstory again.
Well,
Yeah.
that wasn't that bad. People were
Well, to
bitching
be
about
wait,
it
you've never
before.
to be
seen it
fair,
before?
some people were saying that he's not getting an origin story, and they kind of like
Yeah.
Put it
No,
in here.
well, that's why they wanted to do it so that they don't have to
Exactly.
waste it later. So I didn't.
Exactly.
I
I don't
really
mind
need
that.
to be
I
in
don't
slow
mind
mo.
that at all.
Although
mind it
just
at
a little thing, just a little DC thing. His parents technically didn't die in an alley. I'm just saying.
God.
Yes, I know this. I know this.
Yeah, but
And he
That on the
didn't. He
spoiler.
didn't levitate in his dreams either. So.
Oh
Oh
fuck!
my
well, we don't know
dude.
what he dreams, so
It's
maybe
true.
he did.
Oh, you're right.
I did
You're
hate
right.
the dreams, though. I feel like they led to nowhere in this movie.
I feel
Well,
like
that
the
goes
only-
back
except
to
for the whole
plot.
flash.
No,
the
no. I
only
think
one
the
that-
dreams kind of depict how Bruce Wayne is kind of crazy, but you know he could be going through fucking crazy
No, I
ass
think it
dreams
was just
every
poor
night.
writing, Jackson.
Or that too. It could be that.
I just like his whole origin story felt like unnecessary. Not unnecessary. It was too long. It's like we all know.
At least it wasn't
how
as long as
he-
Watchmen's open.
I bet
No,
you
I-
if that
I-
wasn't
I-
in the movie though, we'd be complaining that it was.
No, I think
No, I just wanted it to be edited shorter. It's like we all know how
Yeah.
he started. Just
Right.
cut it
No,
short.
I-
Let's jump into the
and
action.
they also went back to it again.
No, I don't.
So-
I disagree. Actually, I don't think that. Like, I thought the was really short compared to what.
Yeah,
we've
it was.
seen
It was
before
pretty
in
short
Batman stuff. Like,
because I think in
we
the
literally
Nolan
just
verse
saw-
it was a bit longer.
yeah, we just saw him like the murdered parents get murdered, him fall down the
No,
thing.
but
That's it, and that shit just replayed later on, like when it reminded him of
Yeah.
certain moments. But that's it. Like, I don't think it was exaggerated.
It was necessary. It's.
I mean, we
necessary.
could
I
have
think
done
you
without
have
it,
to
but
kind
it
of
was
put
necessary
because you know it's not
Because
an actual
tech-
Batman movie.
and it's a technically reboot. So
Yeah,
I guess it's
exactly.
like
Yeah.
when you do that, like
He's got to have his own.
we gotta grind through the origin story, like just like everything.
But how many people almost had a heart attack when he started flying?
Oh my god, dude.
Started
I did.
The
levitating.
bats made a whirlwind and he started floating, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was kind of waiting for Alfred to be like, "Bruce, why do we fall?"
I figured it out. I
So
figured
that we
it
can levitate.
I was like, oh, everybody's gonna
Becomes
levitate in the
Superman.
movie. Cool.
I'll have some of whatever you thought.
Is that thing called?
He had
When
Red
he
Bull,
was
man.
the-
He had Red Bull.
That was terrible.
That dream
else?
drug. What is it
My,
called?
my glasses almost made it to the
Miracle?
front of the stage on that.
Miracle?
Oh,
What?
shit.
Different.
Not that one.
Oh, the dream.
Getting high
The
off the
dream drug with the-
Krypton
It's,
gas.
All right,
That sounds.
back to the
Back
action.
to-
here. Back to the
Anyway,
action. All right, so was this technically a Superman movie or not a Superman movie?
I think it was a little bit more.
As I always
a
say,
Batman movie.
semantics.
Because it didn't matter because I didn't get any character out of
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah,
That's
you're-
true.
Oh no, my biggest problem was the colors. I didn't get any colors from Superman.
He's
He
practically.
should have had the most colors out of everybody in there.
Yeah.
And I got more colors off of Wonder Woman. I was like,
And
come on,
even
bro.
her colors
yeah,
were like
yeah,
opaque.
dude, like,
her
I got
dresses-
more colors off of Doomsday. Just
More
saying.
red.
That's my biggest bitching about this movie. Well, one of the biggest things is about Superman anyway. Like, is the costume. I was like, really? Like, I got a glimmer of the red, but it was like really dark, dude. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
That's
Like
not
at first,
for
you
you.
guys know in the beginning, like before when the movie was announced, I was like, oh, well, dark is good, and like this is an example of too dark, like Superman, like
They tried too hard not to be Marvel and it fucked them over.
Yes.
see, it worked
No.
for Batman.
Okay, no. It
I
didn't fuck them
disagree.
over.
I
It
did-
fucked
I-
fans
I-
over.
I also disagree.
I disagree. I don't think he was purposely trying to be anti-Marvel.
He was
That's
being-
literally
That's
being
just his
Zack
way.
Snyder.
Yeah.
Snyder, like,
That's what he does.
It's what
That's
he-
all he does.
Zack Snyder is Zack Snyder.
like literally, that's what he does.
Yeah, and then like there was that part when Doomsday threw Superman towards the building, and I was like,
Here we go again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
no, it wasn't even that.
Look at-
I was trying to like, if he wouldn't have hit the building actually, and there would have been like kind of an explosion, I wouldn't have known where he threw him because it was so fucking dark.
Yeah,
like he
exactly.
grabbed him and tossed him, and I was like,
you see stuff moving. No,
and then the building hit.
And I like how they were like, we need to cover our bases because people were complaining about the mass destruction in the
Oh,
first
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Oh, it's mostly unoccupied where they're
Yeah.
fighting right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh, I love how
you
you
can tell those
did
were
that.
thrown in.
Yeah,
like,
we're like,
yeah.
how
Batman's
can
like,
Oh
oh,
shit, bad writing.
He's like, no, Batman's like, oh no, it's just Michigan. I mean Gotham. We're fine. Like deserted and ended.
But the water was clear, so it wasn't Flint.
It wasn't
It's actually Chicago.
Chicago. Hey-o. Just kidding if anybody's out there. Sorry.
I know, right? I'm so sorry.
No, but like, yeah, I think that was just too much for me. That was like one of the first things I noticed because actually I remember in Man of Steel I saw more color from Superman than I did here. It was a lot. No, like, I'm talking. This was disproportionate for me to realize like
what?
there's not enough.
Superman
color.
did come out mostly at night, from what I remember in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then
but
the
that's
opposite
again.
Man of
Like,
Steel. He
Yeah.
always came out during the day. I don't know. if
Like
that's
even the
true.
big final fight was during the
If
day.
my memory-
well, I remember the
right.
promo.
No, you're
I remember
right,
the
you're
promo stills for Man of Steel. Like when showing the suit, the whole suit was like colors,
was
like you could
daytime,
see
I think
daytime. Like it made it stand out
Glow,
compared to now,
yeah.
where I was like, dude, like what colors is it? Like a dark red, dark like a blue.
Well, then,
At this point, it doesn't matter because the next time you see him, he's gonna be in all black. So
so
What up? Go
so
ahead.
like
That
what
would
I was
be
gonna say was so after like the whole Bruce Wayne origin, then they have like a flashback where it's like Metropolis, the day Superman came or some bullshit like that.
Oh,
And then it's Bruce Wayne driving in his fucking Range Rover. By the way, you see Range Rover very fucking clearly.
Oh yes.
Like,
Product
guys, did you
placement at
know
its
that he was
finest.
driving a Range Rover? So like,
It was a Jeep.
it was
a Jeep. It was a Jeep.
Whatever. Fucking product placement is getting so much worse in these movies.
Did you guys see the Olay shampoo behind Lois's?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yes.
That product placement though.
Hey, it leaves my hair.
Hey,
Telemundo,
remember
right,
the
guys?
product placement in Man
Telemundo.
of Steel though? Remember, like the IHOP, the
Oh,
Pepsi,
God,
and
yeah.
the Sears.
No, I want to know how much
7-Eleven.
Telemundo paid to get on there.
Oh,
Oh
that's
yes.
Hey,
Telemundo.
as a Mexican, I thought that was awesome.
That was legit.
Good
I don't know
notoriety.
about you guys.
Yeah.
I was entertained with that.
Yeah.
Actually,
And Juarez,
that was probably
Juarez.
honestly, in my opinion, that was probably my biggest disappointment of like the Batman scenes of everything until together was that beginning intro sequence. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, not to mention the whole intro to me of like I felt like an
Random
hour.
question too. I just have to ask you guys.
Okay.
After you were finished.
Oh.
Before you
Oh no,
finished.
you already
I
cut me
interrupted. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's a man of principle.
I'm a man of principle.
The damage has been done.
Yeah. Well. Anyways. Sorry. No. It's just,
Get on
was
with
his
it.
was his mansion done? It's
Yeah, it was destroyed.
destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't. Okay.
No. I'm guessing that.
Well,
had to
I'm
do
assuming we're gonna find that out.
Yep.
in the
With
solo
his
film.
He's
film.
gonna rebuild
In the
it
sequel.
if it has to be brick by
By
brick.
brick by brick. Yep.
What do you guys think his solo film's gonna be?
Red Hood?
Red.
We'll get to
yeah,
We'll get to that.
what else happened? He was on his Jeep the day Superman
Oh
came.
yeah, back to what I was saying about that. Like I felt like that whole intro, even leading into like where, they found somewhere in the Indian Ocean. I love how it said literally somewhere in the Indian Ocean. Somewhere I was like, you fucking lazy fuck. And then back when
They said it the same way in the
this is
first one.
Superman in
big.
Superman in Metropolis, and I was like,
In,
what?
in Man of Steel, one of the world engines goes into the Indian Ocean.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it
think
literally,
that's-
no,
yeah.
it says the same thing somewhere in the Indian
Yeah.
Ocean when the
Oh,
word
it's
is mentioned.
ridiculous, dude.
Engine hits.
Lazy fuck.
Poor
like,
writing.
Yeah, that's
somewhere in the Indian Ocean, like come on, man, like
Couldn't
do
give us
like in
coordinates.
the you know, like Modern Warfare 2. Give us
Yeah.
a
At least it wasn't
Coordinates.
redacted. Like, at least they didn't do the
Okay.
redacted parts.
No, but-
it says where it is, and then it redacts it
No.
somewhere in the Indian
No,
Ocean.
where I was going with that though with Bruce, because I remember falling buildings. I was like, that scene's probably gonna be really fucking badass. It's completely different than what they portrayed in the preview to what
Clever
we saw.
edit-
He
clever
was like, "What are
editing.
you doing? What are you driving? Where are you driving? Where are you going? Who the fuck are you saving? Who we never get
Okay.
mentioned? That never
Wally?
gets mentioned again." No,
Oh,
that's-
Wally, that part?
Yeah,
Like,
Wally.
they call you Wally?
No, who was the guy he was on the phone with? Fucking
Jack,
Oh,
his
that
editor or something.
yeah, somebody. I was like, dude, no one even give a fuck about Jack. Like,
Oh yeah.
He's like
the
fucking-
guy.
He got
yeah.
everybody out.
He
He's
did
staying
his-
up
he
all
did his
night.
spectacles, testicles, Wally didn't watch.
That was White Lucius.
That was White
There it
Lucius.
is.
That was like Lucius.
Let's talk about Alfred.
Oh,
Alfred was a
amazing.
strong point.
Alfred
Really good.
was probably one of the main strong
I
points.
loved it. I loved the banter between the two.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
was
You
great.
felt-
It reminded me anime series.
It's-
Fucking
yeah, it's
Batman
always
and-
clever.
and
You
Alfred.
felt a relationship there. You
Yeah.
felt
Yes,
history there.
yes,
Yeah, like for them just being introduced to us, we felt like you could feel it's been 20 years, or well, him being Batman at least, and like,
As opposed to Lois Lane and...
No, but like the scene of Alfred working on the suit was like pretty legit. Like
Yeah, I was
seeing
gonna say,
like
was
Alfred
that,
like
was
doing
he
this.
working on like the bat suit? You saw that
Yeah.
metal helmet?
He was working
yeah,
on
he
the
was
main
working on
one.
the
armor one.
Yeah, the armored one.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like I said, as opposed to Clark and...
Yeah.
They're
This-
supposed to be the crux, the romance, you know,
Yeah.
of that whole.
We call that
thing.
romance.
Yeah, that's what I'm
This
saying.
lady-
My love
I
life
don't
is more of a
I'm
romance.
sorry, like I don't mean anything wrong to like Amy Adams or anything, but she's like way too old to be Lois Lane.
She's not a redhead
I don't
either.
have a problem with
Well,
that.
that's not the thing.
What's her
It's-
real age?
I don't know, but like they look total. Like she.
I don't
Looks
know,
like
but the
she
girls
actually
can
is
say something
his
else.
aunt or something. Like they.
Yeah, it looks like like Superman's going for cougars.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
No,
I don't have a problem with that.
No, I just
Like I could
I just
notice
think-
it more in
I
this.
just
Like
think-
he
I
looked
just
so
think-
much younger than her,
I,
and I was just
I
I
think
like,
don't have a
it's
problem
a
with the age. It's the casting. They could have
Yeah.
chose someone better.
At least dye her hair.
the same
Yeah.
age or not?
and
How old is she?
Amy Adams is 41.
Oh,
how old is Henry
Lord.
Cavill?
Cavill's
Like
like
35,
30, yeah.
34.
He's pretty fucking young, dude.
She is a good
Eli
actor.
is
I
He's
fat.
just-
younger than
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce
I think.
Oh.
I just think.
How much? How old is he?
32. Affleck's like
So
what,
you
40?
so you
Yeah,
get,
yeah.
so you get what I'm saying?
I agree with Daniel on this.
Okay, no,
but-
but, well, go.
Oh no! But by the way, after the immaculate bat scene of getting risen by the bats, anyone notice how Superman's impact when he first showed up in the first scene, like in the desert, how it was like quiet and it was supposed to be like a clapping.
Oh,
scene?
yeah, that's what I was gonna
Superman
say.
showed up. Let's all clap.
All the points in this movie where like they do that crescendo where the audience they want the audience to clap. It was like fucking dead.
Yeah.
Like in the theater.
by the way, we should mention that we were watching it with nothing as usual.
But fans,
But like
nerds.
hardcore, we got our tickets from the comic book shop that caters to us, and so it was an audience full of like hardcore comic book nerds. And to Daniel's point is nobody clapped when
Yeah.
Literally,
you were
they
supposed
clapped
to.
when they clapped when they wanted to clap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
may
what
be
should
the only one, but I think you should not clap in theaters. I think it's kind of
It depends.
It's a
Sometimes
movie.
Depends on what's
I don't
This
think
is
so.
Sergio's first time going to an event, but they clap.
No,
It's not
yeah,
my
they-
first time.
Not
No,
to
a lot of
event,
times-
yeah.
a lot of
You
times-
know with us, yeah.
I was
You
next to
guys-
Daniel and people were clapping. We're like, that's not a clap worthy moment, but okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
I was like, like five,
Did you
people,
guys-
5, 6 people clapped at one scene. I was like,
I was like,
no,
Did you guys
no.
catch the Phantasm reference?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
I
yes, I
like
did.
that. Like,
I
I
did.
want-
Yeah, he's a
No,
fantastic-
yeah,
He's a
like we
fantastic-
said,
I was like, oh my
that was the
God.
Batman stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
I'm saying
let's
this
try to
movie,
stay on track.
Yeah, this movie was more.
No,
Batman.
let's talk about Batman.
That's what the first third of the
Yeah.
movie is.
I
It's
know,
supposed
right?
to be.
Oh, that was the
it's
best
supposed to
part.
be Man of Steel like 2, right? Superman
That's
2.
what I
No.
But
said.
this, no,
It was
never was.
originally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was.
They
Oh.
here's the thing. They didn't know. This is like a rumor going around, but I feel like it's confirmed now. They didn't know until 2 weeks prior to them announcing the movie.
I think they like scratched it, but
Like announcing the movie at Comic-Con back in 2013, 2012, whenever
Sounds about right.
whenever they
14,
announced it. They didn't know until like the week or two before that they were making Batman vs Superman. That's why they didn't have anything other than the logo.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why it was pitched as a Superman movie.
So this is more Batman.
I remember
than
all that.
Superman,
I remember
pretty
that.
much.
Yeah,
Like
instead of-
everything.
we're still
DC.
getting a Man of
Like
Steel
everything
too.
DC
I
is more
literally-
Batman than anything.
I
That's all
literally-
they put their money on.
Well, I
Yeah, I
literally,
said it.
I literally think it was them. Like at the very least, they're hoping to set up the Justice League movie. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what they were really their end game was.
Look,
like,
I'll tell you this. You can't. Even for this universe as it is now set up, you can't go worse than what
Excuse me.
you've done.
Yeah.
The only
can
way you
only
can
go
go.
up
The only
from-
way you can go
yeah.
is up.
And
After
it's
this
exactly
point.
what we're saying. Like,
Well,
as
yeah,
bad
we'll
as
take
this
it with the
movie
Zack
is, like, it is a building block, and you get rid of Zack Snyder, and you can make it work.
Yes, you could.
Zack Snyder's confirmed for directing both parts of Justice League.
What?
Oh wow!
Oh,
And we
fuck.
are redacting that.
We are redacting.
Should we just end this now? Or?
is this true?
Is this true?
He's our
He's
fact
the
checker.
fact
He's
checker.
the fact
He's the
checker.
fact checker.
Can we fire him?
So
For
Warner
those-
Brothers were like,
you-
"Oh, well, you made good enough
are
money
you
with the
Universe
fans, so."
I'm not sure if that was audible, but Zack Snyder's confirmed to direct both Justice League movies. For the record.
I hope he dies.
Whoa. We don't say stuff like that.
Welcome to
Okay,
the-
we're just kidding.
Goonies
Fine.
never say die. Okay, that's what we do.
All right.
Let's
Lex
what else
Luthor.
happened? Lex
Oh,
Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
You mean the Joker?
Yeah. Let me
Oh,
put it
no,
this
don't
way.
do that.
In this
Don't
movie,
do
in
that.
this movie,
It was not
Lex
even
Luthor
connected.
wasn't anything. He wasn't
No.
a man. He wasn't the man that you think of Lex Luthor when you see the
Exactly.
comics. He's just a little kid.
I literally only saw one glimpse of the man that is actually Lex Luthor, and that was when Superman was on his season. He was like a god.
Yeah.
A god kneels before me now.
And now he-
grovels before
now
me or
the
something like
God
that. That's
bends
the
to me.
that's the only part that I was
Everything else,
like,
he was making little
that's Lex
jokes
Luthor.
and little ha 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 little and it's like, dude, what the hell?
Was he really Lex Luthor? Like,
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
he was really Lex Luthor.
I thought it was Alfred or whatever the fuck.
Because
It was
technically,
Alexander.
if I
Alexander.
remember correctly,
Like
Lex
Lex
Luthor in the comics is a
Yeah,
junior
that's
as
what I
well.
was-
So
Yeah, he is a junior, so that is Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
And it's
gotcha,
everything
gotcha.
we had talked about, the way we didn't like the way
But
they
you-
made his
It's
portrayal is.
literally
It
how-
literally
You
how
said
it
it.
played
You
out.
said it earlier. So whatever character he was playing was a good character, but it wasn't Lex Luthor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He played it. No, don't
And
get
I
me
don't-
wrong.
I don't
His
think-
performance was
I liked
really
him.
good.
I don't
But
think
not as
yeah,
Lex
But
Luthor.
he's
I
not
liked
Lex
it.
Luthor.
But he is not Lex
And I'm
Luthor.
okay
That is
with
Lex Luthor.
He's not
For
the Lex
now.
Luthor.
Yeah.
good,
Yeah,
no.
for now.
Yeah.
Like if he gets like something happens to him in prison where he gets more like
Like
Crazier.
Luthor.
not crazier,
Drops
but like
himself?
more
Level-headed,
level-headed and
yeah.
like
Yeah,
not as like
right.
whiny.
There's
I'm just
hope
gonna
for
say
him
this:
yet.
there has never been a better representation of Lex Luthor other
Yeah,
than
exactly.
Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. Oh, and maybe Mr. Krabs in the animated series, but other than that,
Yeah,
Mr. Krabs.
that's Clancy Brown.
that is.
That's true. That's true.
I thought you were gonna say Kevin Spacey.
Well,
Kevin
I say,
Spacey
No,
in that.
wrong.
Um,
Yeah.
what else happened?
You guys didn't like
That
Kevin
was-
Spacey?
No, that wasn't Kevin Spacey playing Lex Luthor. That was Kevin Spacey playing Gene Hackman playing Lex Luthor. That's what that was.
That's fine. It worked.
It insists upon itself.
But yeah, I felt like the whole action scene when they actually finally did fight, because that's what the movie's called, Batman vs Superman, was weak.
It
Like, the
no.
whole
I didn't think
Wait,
it was
sorry,
weak.
guys.
I
Wait,
thought it
hold
was
on.
too short.
It's
Yeah.
not Batman versus Superman.
It's Batman.
Zack Snyder came out and said it's Batman v Superman. There's no verses. It's v like a court case.
Oh God
Yeah.
damn it!
He seriously came out and said
I
this.
fucking thought he was gonna refer like that.
As I always say, semantics. Point is, the action was weak, the battle was weak. It
Like
was
the
just-
fight itself, like if you actually
The-
look at
the-
the fight was cool, but it was only like 5 minutes.
The
That's
conditions, the what is it? The build up, the why of their fighting was like
was
really.
weak. That in itself was
It's
weak.
just quick. It's
From
just,
Batman-
this
no
happened,
build
this
up.
happened,
From
this happened,
Batman's
now
point
you
of
have
view,
to
there
fight.
was build up. For Superman, there really wasn't. There was barely like build up.
Yeah.
Like pretty much all Superman was doing was threatening
The
him and stuff like
stakes
that.
were
But then like Lex comes in and he's
subpar.
like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill your mom if you don't go kill him."
That did
go kill
surprise
Batman."
me in like a good way. Like I thought it was gonna be some other way. You know.
No,
But
actually,
it's-
that disappointed me.
But it's Superman. He could have easily found another way to go around it to rescue his mom, not to
Yes,
submit over to
yes.
Luthor and go fight
No,
Batman.
I
That's
actually,
the only way.
hold on, I want to jump on that because I actually thought his train of thought initially was the perfect like Batman Superman like duo thing. Like he went to him and tried to explain to him, like because remember when he first went there, I thought he was gonna try to
Convince him.
but he was like convincing him like, Bruce, I need your help. This is what's going on. But what they ended up eventually doing after they beat the shit out of each other, which made no sense. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought that's what was gonna happen. Like. But because it's been hyped up as a Batman Superman movie, and there had to be that fight
Yeah.
scene, I literally felt if there was no fight scene and they just kind of like head to head, and he's
Talked.
like, "Actually, I need your help," and then they team up, and I'm like, then we had the Doomsday fight. I would have been like,
They
okay.
could have called it
Question.
World's Finest.
But no,
Does-
wait.
wait,
Also-
question.
Wait,
Sup-
wait. Don't
does
forget, Lois Lane saved the day. No, that's his mother. What? Oh, okay. I'll help
Martha,
you.
why
What
did
the
you say
hell?
that name?
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
does Superman have his
That was
X-ray
pretty cool.
powers in this movie yet, or?
He has.
He's
Wait,
always
what?
had his extra.
Yeah,
He
never used
hasn't
it.
been introduced.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Literally, he doesn't even use his
Wait, what are you talking about?
Frostbite.
What are you talking about?
His X-ray vision.
I
Like,
think he used it like 10%.
Well, why
of his
would he
powers.
use it for?
I don't know, when they threw the smoke bomb at him and he's like trying to fight Bruce.
That's what I was saying. Maybe his fucking suit was coated with lead or something. But how would he know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
They
to
haven't
even
introduced
see
it, yeah.
his identity.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't.
when he
you're
broke
right.
He
his-
heard him. He heard him
already
talking
knew.
to Alfred.
Yeah, he
But I
already
didn't know
knew
for
it
what,
was.
but he did break his helmet and he
No,
saw.
he knew-
No,
he knew
dude,
he was Batman.
knew it was Bruce when they before
Yeah,
that.
from
Like,
the-
When he tried to
when
sneak
party or
into the-
whatever.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
he
no,
was
but
singing
he
in
does,
Alexis.
but he doesn't know that was Batman.
He's connecting the dots.
What are you
That's
talking
stupid.
about?
Dude, he comes up to him. He's like, Bruce. Like he tells
Yeah,
him,
when he came
Bruce.
up to him, he was like, "Bruce, I need your help."
Mm-hmm.
No, I know, but I'm saying like if just because he heard Alfred say that doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah,
oh that's
he's-
Batman.
That I wouldn't.
He
yeah.
he kind of like because then the way he was defending Batman while he was going, he
Yeah.
could
Yeah,
he
but
put two and two together.
They still didn't. come
Superman,
out
if
and
anything,
say-
is not stupid.
To go on that point, they never directly said how Lex Luthor found out that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Bruce
Yeah,
saying.
Wayne
Lex
was also
Luthor knew
Batman.
who Bruce
he was,
Wayne
yeah,
was.
he was just like, oh yeah, all I had to do was send him notes and with
Yeah.
you killed your family, you let your family. That's like, how did you know about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how they
See,
just
the-
didn't explain. There was a lot of unanswered questions. Where
I
like, how did you
apologize
do
for
it?
this, but just like all the Batman fanboys say, I'm Lex Luthor. Just like say, oh, how does he do this? How does I'm Batman?
because he's
That's their
like,
justification.
Well,
So
Oh,
to
okay,
use
Lex
that,
Luthor, he just
oh,
knows.
go
In the
Lex
comics-
Luthor.
He is Batman.
In the
Just
comics,
to
it makes
clarify.
sense
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
he's,
he is
he's like a
Batman.
super
He is
genius.
Batman.
He is Batman. Back to the fight. If they did have a more crazy fight scene, how would they have fought Doomsday? You know, or like, how, like maybe they
Well, it
would
would have been
like,
at 100%.
Yeah, they would have
Bobby
been
met
like,
up with Wonder Woman. They would have planned something. I mean,
maybe.
No, it's just like they're trading just one big ass blow, another big ass blow,
Yeah.
another big ass
I thought
blow.
it should have been longer.
Ryan Game.
Yeah.
Which is what I was saying. Like the only parts of the movie that I like were Batman when he's taking on those bad guys because
Yeah.
he's using the grappling hook and actually fighting.
Oh, that was
when it's
amazing.
Superman fighting, literally all he does is run into things.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
thro- he-
Oh, 'cause he
how
doesn't
about, how about that when he actually gets hit with the kryptonite? He doesn't know how to fight. He's like, oh, like, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. Like,
Well, it's because he doesn't.
he can't,
that's
yeah,
why,
that's what I'm
um,
saying. But I was just like, god damn it, like this is.
That's why I wish this was true. I don't know if they ever did it in a comic, but it would be cool to have Batman train him.
Like,
Like,
the
you know,
fight, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that would
Just to
happen.
fight,
he
yeah.
does know.
Well,
freaking-
Superman, technically
well,
speaking,
yeah, he does
in
know
the comics,
fighting style.
knows fighting
Yeah.
style.
In the
He knows-
comics, yes,
yeah.
but I mean,
Well, that's
in
what I
the
was
movie,
referring to because, like,
Yeah.
in the movie, he's like all of a sudden defenseless and can't even like
because
throw punches.
even
It's
if you remember in Man of Steel, he was getting his ass kicked. All he was doing was throwing punches, and Zod and Feora and the
yeah,
big
they were like
motherfucker,
actually.
they actually knew martial arts because they were soldiers, you know, and like
that's what
I
they
get-
made the point of.
I
Man
love
of
that
Steel,
fight
which-
scene. Though.
Yeah. See, I like that fight scene too. Like when they're in Smallville, right?
2v1 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think we had better impressive fight scenes of Superman in Man of Steel than
Maybe.
Batman Superman.
Yeah.
That much is true.
Like, it actually makes me like Man of Steel more. Like watching this movie, I was like,
That's not
like,
not a good
that's
thing.
not
it's
a
not
good
a good thing. You're not wrong, but it's like that's how poorly they casted the light on Superman's character, though, literally and figuratively.
Yeah,
Hey.
going back to
I got that one. I got that one.
going back to what John was saying about how like if Superman would have gone up to Batman and right then and there said, hey, you know, I need your help, like it felt like, why didn't you do that at the very end of the fight? He goes, hey, I need your help, they have my mom. It's like, why didn't you try and talk to him during the whole fight?
Because he
Well,
wasn't
that's-
listening.
Well, that's the thing, though. Honestly, it's because like I blame this on the whole hype of B versus Superman, but it's not B versus it's BvS Superman. Like no, dude, like come on, man. Like no, like if he would have been, I would have like geeked out hard if it would have been like, hey Bruce, like we need to figure something out, and Batman would have been like, okay, cool. They're like, all right, let's figure this. I don't trust it yet, but let's figure it out. I would be like, oh my god, yes, it's like animated series, like Batman, Superman, like cool. But no,
we're developing a trust.
Exactly.
No,
yeah.
You don't get.
People wanted Frank Miller, so they gave you watered down Frank Miller.
Oh, they did. Good God.
Yeah, they did.
Oh my God, the references to that. I caught it.
I do like the references.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did like them.
If Oliver Queen would have came out and shot
I know.
the Night Arrow, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all
And
I
if
was
it was
waiting
Stephen
for.
Amell, soon.
Stop.
That's all I was waiting for is Green Arrow come out. That'd been awesome.
What if when the Flash showed up, it wasn't Ezra Miller, it was actually Grant
Oh, then I
Gustin?
would have lost my everything.
Let's talk about that. How they introduced all the characters. Like we saw Flash, we saw Aquaman.
Literally-
you call those introductions?
Literally shoehorned in.
Yeah, you
But
call
the
those
thing about
introductions.
It's
I was
complete
telling-
opposite of what we thought was going to happen. Remember, everyone's like, dude, they're going to cram them in there. They're going to have
They're
like
cameos.
20 minutes each.
No,
cameos,
it was
yeah.
worse.
Literally
No, it was
cameos.
worse.
Like,
they
the
gave
only
Cyborg
one-
the longest
No,
one.
no. Flash technically had the longest one because he
No.
had the
He had
the
other
reaching
parts,
out
yeah,
and
the
the dream
time
sequence.
thing, yeah.
So technically, I think Flash got more, but Cyborg had ridiculous amount of time. Like I'm sure like people
I don't know if you guys caught this, but I know me and Roger did. The guy who's playing the Cyborg's dad is Miles Dyson from Terminator, who
Yes.
makes the Terminator.
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
makes the Terminator.
right.
Yep. Of course.
That's
Of
Back
course.
in T2.
Yes,
Yes,
recognize
of course
him.
they
I
would use it for
recognize
that.
That's awesome.
The irony. The irony.
I never noticed.
I'm just upset that they didn't have Green Lantern. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, but
damn.
we have Cyborg. Yeah,
Yeah, we have Cyborg because that's important.
What, you wanted Martian Manhunter? You wanted an actual good character? We have Cyborg.
I wanted Manhunter.
Everybody wants Manhunter, dude.
They're not gonna give it to you.
They couldn't even give me fucking Captain
The
Marvel,
only reason
dude.
they're giving you fucking Cyborg is because he has to introduce Darkseid's technology.
And the political correctness
Yeah.
and the social justice warriors. That's why. Wow.
Whoa,
That's not
whoa,
lying.
whoa.
That's part of the reason.
Caesar.
That's not lying.
I was talking about
Get
the
your
movie,
political
you went
agenda out
with
of
it.
this. He might be right.
We've touched on it.
He might
Thank
be
you.
right.
He might.
Oh, come on. We talk about this in person? And all of a
I'm
sudden,
backing you up.
all
I'm
of us
backing you
think-
up.
No, you know,
think-
okay.
The views expressed by Caesar Montes.
Or BuzzFeed in any way.
Oh, I didn't mention, guys, www.buzzfeed.com. You guys check out some of the videos.
Endorse
Do not
BuzzFeed in
endorse
any
BuzzFeed.
way.
We just couldn't get this up with the whole podcast on. I was fine. I didn't even, usually I bring it up, but now.
I
Our
was gonna do
listeners
it
are
with
very
BuzzFeed.
confused.
I
When
was
I
gonna
say
do it
we
with
are,
BuzzFeed.
I'm just saying we are.
Well, if you've been listening this whole time, yeah.
So we're
do
not gonna shit on
endorse
this
it.
movie the whole time. Let's say what
Yeah,
they got
let's
right.
try
Okay.
it.
Batman.
Yeah.
That's it.
They got Batman.
Batman?
Let's say what they got right.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
have
no,
I don't
no.
have my cricket sounding app with me, so
No, there's Batman.
They got
and Alfred.
Alfred, okay, they got that.
Alfred worked.
The thing they got right is when they brought in Doomsday, they used him for what he's supposed to do.
yes,
They used him
Yes.
to kill Superman.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
which is the whole
And
point of his existence.
Also,
I do have something to
go
say.
ahead, Sol.
Okay. So you guys remember the part where Bruce and Superman are fighting, and he tells him, he's like, "You're not brave." He's like, "Men are brave."
Yeah.
I wish Superman would have referenced that when he picks up the lance.
Oh, I
that
get what
would've
you're
been-
saying. But that would have been good writing.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
so that would have been right.
Because the whole time,
before he charged
because
him.
the whole time the world is painting him as like this god, you know, and Bruce implies that only humans can be brave because they're willing to sacrifice their Nah, lives. but you don't say that when you're doing it because then that,
That would have been.
No,
That
that
would-
would
no,
have
when
been
he was-
great.
They
That would've
could've-
been good writing.
They
When
could
you
have even
fucking know
had
it.
He would have
They
referenced.
could have even have it where Bruce was watching him and he
Yeah.
says it.
and you know,
Like,
or at
men
least
are
or
brave.
you could have had him thinking
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like that
As long as we
would have
would've
just
saw
sealed.
it.
They,
That
they
would
could have
seal
had the
that
Iron
scene.
Giant
Oh
moment.
my god!
You are who you choose to be.
Just
Stop.
But that's exactly.
I'm gonna cry.
That's exactly what they
Giant.
should have
Oh,
made.
God.
Hang on. That's exactly what this movie should have been. It should have been
The Iron
Superman's. No.
Redemption.
That's a better Superman
No,
movie. right
because
there.
Superman isn't a god and he's not a man. He's in between. That should have been what this movie was about.
You
supposed
mean
to
he's
be.
a demigod?
Sounds like a demo.
Anyways,
oh, for God's sakes.
Going back to Doomsday, I can't give it a good point. Why? Because he's an iconic, well, quote unquote iconic character in the Superman universe, and his creation was butchered.
Yes,
butchered,
it
butchered.
was.
First of all,
Yes, he was used for his death, but his
but Lex Luthor
creation
didn't
was
create him.
good.
He wasn't even from this planet.
He's
Yeah.
straight
To
up from
be fair,
Krypton. He's from ancient Kryptonian.
It would have
freaking-
been hard
Well, then they were
to
kinda
recreate his actual origins in a movie like that, especially how they.
Well, they
did
didn't
it
have to.
Well,
bring
that's-
him
that's-
in,
have to bring him
like,
in.
you know,
I'm
That's
just,
kind of my point. Like in the bigger pictures, they try to jam too much into this movie.
basically they're trying to throw like everything in one. It's like
Wonder
dude,
Woman,
take
They
it
did.
Batman,
They did
Superman.
worlds. They did Batman versus Superman. They did the
Death of-
Trinity.
Death
They
of
did
Superman.
fucking.
Doomsday.
They
They
did.
did
They
Superman
did Death of
Doomsday.
Superman.
Hey,
Batman.
which was the only
I
good
have
part
a
of
question,
Superman.
too.
Frank Miller's A Dark Knight Return. That's
I have a question for anybody who can answer this, or even fact checker over here. Are they making Justice League before Flash?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they are, huh? Oh well.
So what happens is Zack Snyder either gets fired or dies after the Justice League 2 movie, and then Flash, we get the Flash movie, and what he does is the time paradox, you know, and we get the universe reset.
If they get Flash,
what
like
he's gonna do? Flash is gonna go back in time, erase all of Zack Snyder movies,
and then we
X-Men.
wake up from our fucking dreams. You realize that's not gonna fucking happen.
No, seriously. Do you know what that's called? No, seriously. Do you know what that's called? It's called X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah, and even that continuity is fucked.
Because that's what we need in the DC universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my favorite part of this movie was Superman dying.
Yes.
It was the only comic book accurate thing in that fucking movie.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
wait. He didn't die.
Well, you know.
Well,
The rocks
took a
levitated.
Because apparently the gravitational pull on Earth is pretty bad.
You guys buried me 6 feet under. I'm dead. So
all right, Caesar. What did you actually like about?
Get back to me. I'm trying to think. Good thing about the movie.
Batman?
Other than Batman and
Okay, let's do that.
It's a
Other
Marvel
than
fan movie. Be careful. This is why it's taking so long.
And the rule is it has to be other than Batman.
Yes, other than Batman.
Well, then count me on.
Gal Gadot looked good.
Roger, go ahead. We already skipped one person. We're not skipping you.
No,
You can say mine.
I'm
You can say
seriously.
mine too.
No, yeah, I actually agree with
And
that.
this is a DC fanboy.
I could do
What?
Wait. What was yours?
No, honestly, it was the well, two things: the homage to the death of Superman, and there was also I'm overthinking these things, but to me, it was an homage when it shows Superman coming out of the water with the kryptonite. Like, yeah, it was a lance, but it just reminded me of the original Reeve movie because Lex Luthor like throws the kryptonite like in a chain on him and leads him to drown. So him coming out of that was like a little homage to that too.
Yeah,
I like that.
They did that in Man of Steel too when he was defeating the World Engine.
No, yeah, but you actually see Christopher Reeve's face.
That was pretty awesome.
And yours?
I think friggin' Gail Gadot looks great as Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, we're not even talking about
Gal
Wonder Woman.
Gadot.
Superman, yeah.
She was pretty good.
One might say she's quite a gal.
God damn it.
I don't know if his Fortress of Solitude when he was up in the mountain. I thought that was okay.
That was weird though. Like
it was weird.
He
but
just started talking to his dad all of a sudden. Like
he's crazy.
Terrible driving a boat.
he's a paranoid schizophrenic from Mark.
Wait,
He's Joker too.
why was he walking? Could he just float up?
That too.
Why was he wearing a beanie?
Yeah.
You wanted to think?
He had to put on his thinking cap.
And how long did that take? Like, what was that like timeline? Right
Yeah, he had
like,
time to go over there. And,
Yeah.
That was just
chill.
random.
He's like, I'm
too.
just gonna walk
He
up to the
that one scene,
Himalayas.
he goes up there,
That
talks
was-
to his dad, and that's it.
That
and
was
then they go
us.
to another scene, like,
That was me, at least me trying to follow the plot line of the movie. Like Superman scene of him walking in the mountain, that was me
Now-
watching the movie, wondering where the fuck I am,
And
trying
you-
to follow this fucking plot line.
and you just happen to stumble upon Jonathan Kent there at some point.
Yeah, like
Now I remember that's when the two people walked out of the theater and never came back. It was in that scene.
good for you, sis. Good for you.
Wow, what good. Yeah, probably Wonder Woman. But even, like, her in and of herself was good, but the fact that she was there still left me like they shoehorned it, like, no.
she was literally just popping up, popping out, popping up, popping out.
I didn't think it was forced. My opinion, I don't think Phil like.
Or, like, if they would have had scenes with Superman, like, going to his, what is it?
Oh yeah, we didn't
His,
see a Fortress of
Fortress of
Solitude.
Solitude.
I was
Yeah.
expecting to see that.
That's what you think he's doing when he's going in the snow, but
That's
it
what I
never
thought.
happens. Yeah.
Also, even though the fight was very subpar, at least they also kept true to the fact that, like I said before, Batman being able to go toe to toe with him without the use of kryptonite would have made no sense to me. And the fact that they use it is,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
okay.
that
Yeah,
was-
I'm
that
okay
was
with
actually-
that.
yeah,
I was
Oh,
really
and the
happy
fact that
about
he hijacked it from Luthor made it even better.
Yes.
Or whatever,
Well,
that,
Luthor wanted it,
whatever
though.
that was.
Luther wanted him.
Yeah, he wanted him to hijack it.
Yeah, true.
He counted on it.
Well,
That's why he was
That's why
smiling.
he
at
was
the end.
like,
You know what I just realized is if Wonder Woman wouldn't have cut off Doomsday's hand, Superman wouldn't have died.
Yep. I was thinking the
Holy
same thing.
shit.
I was thinking the same thing. As soon as he saw it, I was like, Wonder Woman, this is on you.
Yes. That's why she was
don't
like,
give a
fuck.
shit. She just met the motherfucker, so she's like, well,
His last words looking at
some
her.
alien
You should have
who
left his
It's
hand.
not
It would
even
have been
from
cooler
her.
to see, like, you know, not Wonder Woman, but Diana, like, character meet.
Diana.
Yeah, meet Clark
Clark
Kent.
Kent,
Like,
yeah.
that would have been kind of cool, but it was just Bruce Wayne and her, and that was it.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with
Yeah.
Clark has his girl. I want the ship to be Bruce and
Aquaman.
Diana.
The way they were
Right,
hyping
that'd
up
be
Aquaman before this movie,
Way
I was
too
really,
much.
I was really waiting for his Hulk moment, as like I
Yeah.
called it. It was like he
I
would.
thought he was gonna come in.
Yeah,
fucking-
they were fighting Doomsday on an island. There was water all around. That would have been perfect for like
Yep.
fucking
Yeah.
Arthur Curry to come out and be like, "Hey, what's happening up here?" Like maybe he has a television in Atlantis and he was like, "Shit, stuff's happening." And he comes out with the fucking whale or
Water
something to
is
take him
king.
out.
No, all he did was have a
King.
selfie.
Yeah, no, all he did was
An
look at the
underwater
camera
selfie.
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was there for a while. It's like, okay.
Batman
Go
killed
now.
in this movie. several times.
yeah,
Batman
Batman.
killed.
Batman did kill.
Well, okay, what points? What you guys keep mentioning that? Which points did he kill?
He killed him with the Batmobile.
Yeah, he was shooting him with his assault
He blew
rifle.
up a car.
When a car landed on top of another car.
He straight up
didn't see them die.
He straight up grabbed the guy, threw him against the wall, and stabbed him before grabbing another guy and throwing him against the wall.
That right there.
What about when he blew the guy with his fucking flamethrower? That he blew them up and just protected her, like.
But that guy's dead.
That's not an
different.
example.
But he did blow people up.
Or he's Firefly.
I'm looking for like
Firefly.
I'm trying to remember blatant like.
No, he did. Yeah, the guys. What they get?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Remind me.
Oh, okay. So when the Batwing came in, when he was coming in to save Martha Kent,
he killed all the people.
He shot that truck, and the
it
truck
blew up.
exploded with the guy there. Smacked into another truck and exploded.
These were not rubber bullets. There were explosions.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Good. I don't fucking mind at all.
If
If any of you have a problem with that, I understand. But I personally don't mind.
My favorite Batman scene was the dream sequence one when he was actually killing people, because that made sense because it was like post-apocalyptic, like
cool,
there was no morals, like Darkseid was there, parademons everywhere.
I did not like that scene. I just felt very.
I feel like that was a premonition from Barry.
But what did it add? It didn't add anything to this movie.
Because this movie's a fucking prequel. It's not a sequel. It's a prequel.
It is true though. It's like you said. It is just him, just like like you said, premonitions, like of what could happen if they don't get together and actually when he said they need to fight when it comes time to they need to fight.
It doesn't make sense either because remember Flash was like, oh, you need to stop him because you were right about him, but then he finds out he wasn't right about him.
And here's another reason why that dream sequence doesn't make sense, because the bad guy in that dream sequence isn't Doomsday or anything like that. It's Superman.
It's not Darkseid. You see the Darkseid logo, but you
and the parademons are there. But what are they gonna have to do with Superman?
So that's what I'm saying. The dream makes no sense in the plot.
What I think it was. Oh god damn it! This is going into fucking fan theories here. But what I think it is that he doesn't know who Darkseid is, so he put in his mind what he knows. So it's Superman.
Yeah, that's true.
Sounds like what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, right?
There's no way he would have known like Darkseid.
Yeah, but he knows something's coming. He's got a feeling because Barry time traveled. They showed the Flash time travel.
But that would be good writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the parademons were there, so it's like, where did they
That's
come
obviously Darkseid.
But at the same time, when he does travel back in time, he tells them, Lois, it didn't say she's the key.
She's the key.
That probably has to do with fucking Justice League.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Random weak ass plot point was when he got his sniper rifle at the top of the crane and he shot it, and then the car runs into the trailer, but it somehow survives.
Oh yeah, I noticed
like
that
that's
and no one notices the beeping.
Yeah,
there's pretty loud beeping. I was like, oh, that motherfucker's clearly gonna know.
Nope, they're not gonna notice.
That's pretty pathetic. And then at the very end, when it's like it's zooming in on the dirt, and I'm like, oh, just close it out, and then it lifts.
Save yourself, save yourself.
Why did he even levitate? Like that was the weird thing.
That's what I'm saying. Why did the dirt have to levitate?
Energy.
It's not
Leviosa.
I get when you fly.
God damn it!
I had to. I fucking had to.
But like, why did the dirt?
Yeah, or it didn't have to. It didn't have.
That's what I'm saying. If they would have just blacked out, perfect.
Yeah, if it would blacked out, or at least you see like or the wood. Him break or something. I don't know, but why does it have to levitate? Like,
or here's a good idea: they could have blocked out everything that wasn't Batman and Wonder Woman, and then I'm not saying it's Man of Steel's fault.
Why was Lois Lane in everything? Like,
I think. By the way, for them, in the first movie making her a strong character, they totally bitched her out on this. Like, no other like use for the term. Like, I don't mean it in any.
Help me! I'm drowning
in the first Man of Steel. She was able to go toe to toe with them. Yeah. I mean, she killed Feora. Like, she was able to do that stuff. That shit, and then this one, she was just everywhere. Like, oh, I'm here too. Oh, you have to save him. Oh, yeah.
She just needed saving.
The whole desert storm operation bullshit in the beginning too. Like what the fuck, dude? That made no sense. That made no time. Like, oh, I got Superman in trouble.
Yeah,
and I got him from front of Congress.
Hey, wait, these guys have bullet holes. Why do they have bullet holes? Nobody checked for bullet holes.
I forgot one thing I did like about that movie is Lex's hot Asian assistant.
Oh, the one that blew up.
Yeah,
she wasn't hot at all. I thought she was unattractive.
I
agreed with Bruce. Nice shoes. That's about it.
Gal Gadot sold it.
Nice shoes. Nice shoes. That's it. That's the new one.
Oh, another thing I did enjoy about the movie is a little effect when Superman flies really fast. The sonic boom.
That
was a nice little touch. It's a little thing that I enjoyed.
No, but seriously, that you're back to that beginning story of the desert bullshit, whatever. That one bullet that's all that scene was for. That one bullet. If you really think about it.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it.
The whole plot was way too.
If you actually look at the scene when he goes like that. He's taking out again. Like, who shoots to the ground? You know what I mean? Like, your book
Call of Duty players.
The lag is real.
That might have been Roger.
The pacing of the whole movie, like from beginning to end, is like jumping back and forth to one to the other. To the
it literally not until Act 2 where it finally gets streamlined a little bit. I say a little bit because It's probably the
You're being
best.
generous.
I'm being generous, like,
Although,
and it's literally mostly the Batman stuff. Every time I was like bouncing around, then I saw Batman, and I was like, okay, at least I know in these Batman scenes, I'm gonna have something streamlined, like consistent.
Yeah.
Like him and Alfred, him and doing the mission. Like I was like, cool. Like even him doing the mission to help Martha out, like. That was pretty awesome.
Well, that was the best part of that film.
Well, yeah. That was going to my next part because so we already finished this part. My favorite part, even though you guys said no Batman parts, that's my favorite part. Because I can't think of anything else.
Fuck Danny, right?
He did say it, didn't he?
No.
Well, then that makes us even for him cutting me off earlier.
I don't even know what to say.
What I will say though, I love that Batman was the one that cussed in this movie. Like he was like, when Doomsday was like gonna blow him up, he's like, oh shit.
No, I talk about Ben Affleck for a little bit too. Like, I think
he was great. He was fucking great.
He did. He wasn't.
No complaints.
Yeah, no complaints. He wasn't bad. I didn't think he was.
Compared to everything else.
Yeah, compared to everything else.
No, I think he was good.
Well, actually, I still think Clooney killed it.
Go ahead, press stop.
Literally.
He killed the franchise.
Fact check.
He was not making a joke.
I mean, I'll give it like.
Remember the Visa card?
To be fair,
Never leave the cave without.
No, stop, guys. We're going into a hole.
7 million. Never leave the cave
You don't
without
have it. 6 million. I'll borrow it from you.
Oh, good.
See, and this is why Bruce Wayne. This is why Ben Affleck.
Say what you will about that movie. At least that movie was fun.
Yeah.
Chill. Chill.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Well, maybe we could joke about.
How many times did you guys laugh about that in the fucking movie?
That movie was just.
Alfred had the funniest parts.
Yes,
movie, man. Alfred. His serious butler.
Let's go take it a step further. That he was the only comedic relief.
Yes,
like
he was. Yes, he was.
Literally the only.
And that was the problem, I think.
Oh, something Eli pointed out. The guy in the beginning that was CIA was Jimmy Olsen, the guy that got shot in the face.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
in the credits it said Jimmy Olsen.
And they give him the credit. It says Jimmy Olsen.
Because I was gonna say, because when I heard it, I was like, oh, they're gonna have Jimmy, Superman, Lois Lane, and all them. And then it turns out he's like a fucking agent. So I was like, oh, well.
Jimmy Olsen died?
He was the guy that got shot with the trap.
I know. That doesn't work.
only in Snyderverse.
It's like watching Foggy get murdered. In
Yes.
Hey, it's Murdoch and.
Oh shit!
Murdoch and Karen.
That does not.
Murdoch and
Page.
Shut up. Murdoch and Page.
Are you kidding me?
Ducks fight again.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's when they said, his name. They tell him his name and everything, and I was just like, oh shit! I was like, it's Jimmy. I was like, little Jimmy. And then, well, so much for little Jimmy. Like, bye, Jimmy.
Bye, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I thought Superman would come at that point and
stop the bullet or something, but no. He only saves Lois because.
But it's okay.
He's a dude.
Selfish bastard.
This is why I don't like Superman.
He gets turned into a black guy in Superman.
You don't like cinematic Superman?
Huh?
You don't like cinematic Superman?
Yeah.
I don't like cinematic.
I
don't like
Superman in general. Like,
I've never been a huge fan. But
Roger, I know Roger's like he's been into Superman, which is cool.
Well, Superman's a good character when you know how to write for him.
Yeah.
People don't know how to write for him.
No. I'm just saying generally what he stands for.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of Superman. I'll admit it, but I mean, still like.
I like I like darker characters.
Have you guys? Has anybody read All Star Superman yet?
Yeah.
Or not All Star Superman.
Yes.
I know.
I'm the only one that has
just came out. It's about him being a teenager, American Alien.
Oh, no.
Look at you realize that.
Oh, Teen Titans?
No, I haven't read it yet. I have them.
You have them? I want to read them because I heard they're really good.
I want to read All Star Superman.
Did you say too bad?
All Star Superman is really good.
Yes, it is.
I'm waiting in line.
There's just so many comments of like Batman and Superman. Batman, Dark Knight. Then there's Superman.
Like I like him and Lou with Batman. I love it. I love
when they were working together. That was great.
Yeah.
But when everything else. Yeah, look at that dead air, guys.
Yeah,
dead air.
I mean, what else is there to say?
We are coming down from the high.
It was not that great.
I looked it up.
It wasn't a train wreck.
What's up? What's the final verdict on it?
The writer, they had a writer, David Geyer, the one who wrote Dark Knight.
David Goyer.
Yeah,
Goyer. The motherfucker who directed Blade Trinity.
The way he wrote the other Nolan Batman, he wrote the first script for Batman and Superman, and they brought another guy in to rewrite it.
Of course they did.
And then they had Ben Affleck fix it.
Well, it was Ben Affleck bought the guy. It was the guy who wrote Argo.
Yeah.
And they brought him in to rewrite it, and now he's gonna write Justice League with Snyder.
Well, that sounds like a lot of clusterfucks.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is Warner Brothers cannot get rid of Zack Snyder, so they're making him work with people.
Yeah.
Smarter people.
Yeah. They're like, okay, Zach, we're gonna direct it.
They're like,
stop smearing the Vaseline on the camera, but you're gonna direct it.
Yeah,
because we need to see what's happening.
Dude, it was really dark. Batman the animated series and Superman the animated series need to make a movie.
No, seriously. Like, the people that make the animated movies, like, the animated movies are good.
Yeah, it's so fun.
They could just do an interpretation of that. They'd, like, just take that storyline and make it live action. That's all they have to do. They don't need to change it or nothing.
This is what I was saying about
They could do Batman Superman Apocalypse with Kara in it and shit like that. That would be cool.
Or, again, Justice League War. Hell, even Flashpoint
Justice League War was not that good.
It was fun.
It was fun.
I fucking hated Green Lantern.
I didn't hate it, but I was like, these guys are, like, they're getting way too violent. Like, Darkseid should be, like, way more like
he's their first villain. That was weird.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. They're throwing all their chips on one of their first villains. Like Doomsday should not have been their first villain. I get why they're bringing him in as like, okay, they stopped Superman, but it's like Doomsday is a real big. He's the one who killed
Brainiac could have been the villain.
Yeah, yes. When all those things were getting tied to him, I could have seen. Oh, he turns like robotic or whatever the fuck they somehow like that. But Doomsday is like he's a big player in the comic. He kills quote unquote kills Superman.
But before he does it, he actually takes out like
a lot
all the Justice League before he actually goes one-on-one with Superman.
And it's just like this one, I'm telling you, they're just doing it way too fast. They're just compete. It's like
don't
do it
play
right.
catch up.
Yeah,
just
don't
do
play catch up.
Do your own
thing.
thing.
What Marvel did. Take your time. Do it right. Then you can have a really.
It's too late for that. The wheels are
literally.
Yeah, but I'm saying they could. That's what I'm saying. They just rushed it. Just to
3 Doors Down got it wrong. It's too late.
3 Days Grace.
3 Days Grace doesn't.
But seriously, I mean, they didn't. They really didn't have to. Because you're right. Look,
I know it's fitting.
I know Marvel is doing like Avengers now 2 and 3, but they still could have been doing Wonder Woman 1. They still could have been doing Batman.
Oh, Wonder Woman's a prequel.
But like
what I'm saying is people would have watched it regardless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were spending all their time from Batman Begins. They could have just been starting from there and throw origin movies. All they did was throw 3 Batman movies, 1 Green Lantern. That was and then
you call that a Green Lantern movie?
Well, technically it is.
Ryan Reynolds in a CG suit.
I know. Yeah. I'm just saying it's
Oh wait, what's the difference between
those
that and
4
Deadpool?
movies alone? You could have had origin stories for Wonder Woman, Flash, because the Flash trailer came out when the Watchmen came out. I don't know if you guys ever saw that trailer.
It was short, right?
It was like a little tweet, like he's like
just see a streak.
Just see a streak.
Yeah, I remember that.
He runs on the roof, unties fucking that girl, because the guy's gonna shoot her. Like I ain't Barry. He runs up the thing. You just see his foot land and just beats him up, and he takes off, and she looks. And he's just running. He's like, I'm the fastest man alive. And that was when the Watchmen came out. They should have done that origin stories, boom, boom, boom. But no, all they did was Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
Well, when they started the Batman Begins and that Nolanverse, they weren't thinking about doing it.
No, that's the problem.
Because Marvel Marvel had just started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they should.
I think their money was tied up in Harry Potter.
Serious? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though.
Money was tied up with Harry Potter.
Yeah, there's this thing right now. I'm pretty sure it's kind of. I think it's true. Is that they offered Christian Bale originally to come back as Batman, and they were gonna put it in the Nolanverse.
Oh, thank God they did.
Thank God.
But then there would have been that setup for Batman already. You know what I mean? Like there wouldn't have been this need to crown because there would have been that build for Batman. Him coming out of retirement would have made sense. Holy shit, there's an alien thing now, I know. Because originally Man of Steel, if you watch Man of Steel again, it's not a Superman movie, it's an alien invasion movie. Yeah. If you watch it as an alien invasion movie, it's not a bad movie.
He's not wrong at all, actually. No. That makes a lot of sense.
They never thought of it that way. Yeah, they can put it in, that's immediately what I saw it as. I never saw it as, that's why I like it. I didn't see it as a Superman movie at first.
Just like Avengers is actually a team movie, like getting the team together for the sports game.
I get it. It's a sports team. Get out of here.
Yeah. Don't look at me like that, though.
Yeah, it's a little low-key.
His ragtag team of
exactly, man.
No, but what I'm saying is they could have set it up. I'm pretty sure they planned it originally to set it up that was in the same universe.
But then he said no.
Yeah, I'm guessing he said no. He was like, yeah, fuck.
Well, he was only gonna do it if Nolan came back for it.
Yeah.
And Nolan was like, nah.
Nolan produced Man of Steel though.
Oh, he helped. No, he didn't produce it.
He had
No, he was on there because his name.
He didn't. No, I think they literally only put his name on there to sell.
Yeah.
But then why did he do that if he didn't want to? That's also an argument with Roger.
They let him do Interstellar.
No. But I was having an argument with or talking about Roger the other day. It's like if Christopher Nolan was so adamant about doing a universe and so adamant about finishing it, why the fuck did he put his name anywhere near Man of Steel?
Because money makes people say yes.
As a favor to somebody.
Exactly.
Because the success that his Batman thing did, if he put his name on there, people go,
it's gonna sell.
As good as that did, this one
it's because he wanted to make Interstellar.
Like that's his payoff.
That was the reason he did The Dark Knight Rises was so he could do Interstellar.
But imagine if he had just kept it going.
No.
The reason he was able to make Inception because Warner Brothers doesn't like doing movies unless they can make a franchise out of it. Yeah. They're like Ubisoft. We can't make a franchise out of this. We don't care.
Yeah. Dude, what is wrong?
Assassin's
Creed.
Yeah. No. You said Ubisoft. I don't know. I said Ubisoft.
I said Ubisoft as well. I just by time I'm used to like.
I know what you said.
Yeah,
but Ubisoft. Right?
Wow. Ubisoft, we're all soft. For now.
On his tombstone, it's just going to say, I was soft.
No, but so if they don't see a franchise in it, the reason they gave him the money to do Inception is because he did The Dark Knight, which was like their biggest fucking hit.
Well, I think I heard somewhere that he did intend for it to be a trilogy. It was since he started with Batman Begins. He intended it to be.
I heard he was going to stop after The Dark Knight. And they managed to like convince him to do a third one.
Yeah,
and then he said if he had known he was coming back, he would never kill the Harvey Dent.
Oh yeah, Harvey
and
Dent.
then also
because he was like, there's a lot of plot points that he could have kept going.
But the point
that's a whole other conversation.
Okay, this Dark Knight Rises could have been so much better if they just had the Joker.
But
like,
real quick, compared to that, like the trilogies were just so amazing.
Yes, that's the thing. And Warner Brothers has never been able to live back up to that.
3 of them.
I'm sorry, but Batman
Batman
vs Superman is better than The Dark Knight Rises. I'm sorry.
Let's not do this.
Let's not do this.
Thank you, Danny.
Here's another thing. Here's what I will say.
You too?
Thank
you.
Thank you. What?
God damn it. The Dark Knight Rises was not a good movie.
Here's what I will say though: is why are we so set on trilogies for everything? Movies, games. Why can't it be N2?
Because mind tricks don't work on us. Only money.
I don't think it should be like that.
But like
because we're in a new era. We're a brand new era.
Trilogies anymore.
Not necessarily
franchise.
It's franchise because it can connect to a lot more. And to the bigger picture, it's pretty much a bigger picture.
It's an investment.
It is an investment, and that's the thing. It's like that's what every studio wants to build.
Because pretty much like this, you do this, you set off one movie, okay, like for example in Marvel, you tie them up. Oh, they fucking became the Avengers, and after that, they spread out. You could see what they do after that, and see what that story does, and see how this leads to another Avengers movie. How they all finally come together again to fight another war.
The perspective I'm saying is like if the director wants it to be intended for 2, okay, let it be 2 or 4.
It's not the director that intends it. It's the writers or the studio. The director is literally the guy. Other than writer-directors like Christopher Nolan and stuff like that, it is the studio.
Studios, it's the studio
for whoever's in charge of the story. Just if that's
like
what
I said, money.
Yeah, dude.
Money.
For
they
this,
see
they
can make a profit.
In this case, it's specifically like Marvel. Once they made like Iron Man and Thor and like those first movies, they kind of knew that okay, we can connect it and make a bigger thing.
But they were taking a risk to begin with. That was
what
they wanted to do.
Hulk, when the Hulk one came out, that had nothing to do with anything really. Yeah. Then the Incredible Hulk came out when Iron Man came out in that same year. And they're like, okay, he had him come in and intertwine and everything. That's how they're like, okay, we can lead to this. They start doing the phase movies, and then they realize, okay, we're gonna make Avengers. And after that, because you're kind of leading the comics, like, hey, we're doing a good job, just keep it going. DC, on the other hand, all they were doing was Batman, where they could have done Batman
because they were never intending to do a DC.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, but still, like,
remember, we have to remember who the real enemy is. Warner Brothers.
To be fair, he's right. Though. He's right though. Like Warner Brothers never look.
John, we're cutting you off.
Warner Brothers never intended to make a DC universe until they realized
or anything good.
No, until they saw. Yeah.
So you can't blame them for not making other superhero movies because
they didn't think it was going to be feasible. They didn't think it was going to make money. I mean, after Green Lantern, think about it.
Yeah. They could have saved that though.
They could have.
Green Lantern, I could even after at the end when Sinestro came out, like, dude, they should have made another one. I was like, dude,
I loved how Sinestro looked. In
that Sinestro looked. Parallax was cool too.
Yeah, Parallax too.
Everything other than Hal Jordan was good in that movie.
And I actually thought his CG costume looked good. I just wish it wasn't CG.
Yeah.
Like Abin Sur, that dude looked fucking legit. All of the aliens look legit.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, Green Lantern could have been a really good. Even if they made a part 2, like I said, Sinestro, that would have been cool to see, and then that can tie into something else, within that DC universe. But at the time, they weren't doing. They were just making movies to make them. Just okay, but has nothing to do with anything. We're just gonna throw a movie out there, so it's kind of like, well, should have done something,
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed because I like Green Lantern.
They're playing catch up now, and it's gonna fuck them.
Yeah.
Unless Justice League is the end all be all, which I highly doubt it is from what we saw now.
Nope.
Maybe that solo Batman film.
No, it's all about that Lego Batman film.
Yeah. That movie's gonna be great.
That movie's gonna be awesome, dude.
I have hopes for the solo Batman film.
Oh yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Is that in the same universe though?
Yes, and it's no Zack Snyder.
Yeah, that's 100% no.
He produced
Suicide Squad,
but he's not
you see
anywhere near that pen or that fucking camera.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm okay with David Ayer.
But the problem is with Suicide Squad is that has to be a standalone, right?
No, what do you mean? Not. Batman's in the movie.
It's part of their universe.
Yeah.
Batman and Joker's in the movie.
The Batman from Batman v
No,
Superman
I understand that, but like after the Suicide Squad movie, like, what
Okay,
do you do with the
like,
characters?
That's true.
But here's the thing.
The Batman universe.
No, here's the thing about Suicide Squad's brilliant as a franchise because it's a rolling roster. It's different characters every time. It's different characters every interpretation. Sometimes Slade's fucking part of it. Sometimes not even Captain Boomerang or Harley's there. It's like King Shark and shit like that.
Okay.
So it's
my thing is this now. They're gonna do the same thing as they did with the trilogy Batman movies with Ben Affleck's version, but those are gonna be good, and everything else probably not gonna do good, just because it's Batman. Batman's versions are good that they've made.
So this year, what's next? It's Suicide Squad, and then what's after that?
That's it.
Wonder Woman's next.
And then we keep watching, and then we keep watching our universe crumble.
Yeah, as DC fans, this hurts.
Yes,
like it really does.
Yes, it does.
And like,
I'm scared for the DC universe.
Yes, so am I.
And check. Hold on.
I think Wonder Woman, Justice League, the first part, The Flash.
Wonder Woman, Justice League,
Aquaman,
Flash.
Aquaman's like in
and then I think
2018,
Damn.
And then Cyborg, nobody's going to see that.
Okay, so I don't get why they hype Jason Momoa more than they've hyped the character for the Flash, like the actor. Why?
Because Grant Gustin.
Yes. Yeah. He already took the hype. That hype train already exists, and it's not coming back.
Yeah. Although me as a Flash fan, seeing the Flash, like in the movie, was pretty cool.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
But
that got me moist.
I'm looking forward.
Yes, it did.
It got me moist.
I'm looking forward to a Flash in this.
The surveillance scenes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll just like.
Another thing too is, like I said, if they would have just tied their TV shows to the movies, because
I disagree with that.
But like Saul said earlier, that would have made too much sense.
Yeah.
That's all they didn't do it.
That's so they didn't do it.
Crisis on Infinite.
Well, you have to remember, are they in the same caliber?
Crisis on Infinite.
Yeah,
the chances of that happening are slim.
Yeah, because it's not.
The chances of Spider-Man being in the Avengers is slim. Do you remember that?
Shows and movies are different beasts. So
yeah, but again, good writing, Daniel.
Yeah, Marvel has a really good track record and all that. So it doesn't even come.
Give it a Berlanti.
They have a good team behind them.
It doesn't come.
Studio, that's what it is.
Yeah. They. I don't even question anything when they come out with stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm down. Like you've proven to me more than 5 movies that you're more than capable.
Yes.
And they built what DC fucked up on is they tried to build their universe on one movie, which was Man of Steel, when they should have done Man of Steel 2. Had the introduction of Batman somewhere in the back half of that.
You know
movie.
what? They should have done a Man of Steel 2 with Doomsday at the helm. No, and then he could have died, built his character, whatever, and then could have done other stuff.
But it could have.
Or check this out. Man of Steel 2. There's a scene where he knows there's something coming from another planet, and you kind of see like maybe he's like fucking fools up in another planet, and then he knows he's gonna start coming, and then when they make this movie, when he's Batman all them together, he finally lands and they fight him. I don't know.
You know how you were saying it's really, really hard to write a Superman movie? So they didn't, and that's why they made Justice League instead.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like this happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, Superman sequel?
And to answer your villain, had they made a second Man of Steel 2 movie, it could have easily been Metallo.
Yes, I don't know.
I think that would be like...
Too much sense.
Too obscure.
Alright, what's our ratings on it?
Ratings? God.
Out of Rotten?
Okay, wait. Who starts this?
I'll
start it. What are we rating it out of? Give me a number.
Go this way.
Yeah, go that way.
10. Yeah, from you for going from.
Do whatever you want. If you want
okay, let's do 10. I want to
out of 374.
No, I want to do out of 10.
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
I want this to get an average.
Out of 10?
We could do half.
Out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
A 4 out of 10.
God damn.
This is John, the vanguard of this movie.
I'll give.
Literally, I could not follow the fucking plotline. That's my biggest reason. It didn't get a 5
I agree. He just hopped around and it just
I gave the most hope in this movie, I think, out of all of you. Yeah. And because of that,
You were shut down the worst.
I was shut down the worst because, I was like, okay, Zack Snyder's doing it. Okay, I've liked some of his movies before. I think I went over this with Roger and Danny the other night, right? And a couple nights ago, and I was like, well, and then I thought about it. I was like, actually, I like Zack Snyder. And then I thought about it. Wait, what movies do I actually like with Zack Snyder? I was like, 300, Watchmen, and
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
That was it.
But that was pushy. Those three, I liked them. The most I liked them was 300. But I was like, damn. And then I counted his other movies, and I was like, I didn't like any of those other movies. So going into it, I knew I was like, fuck. Either I'm gonna see everything I like about Zack Snyder or everything I don't like. So that's why I got a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Honestly, I'm gonna give it either a 6, maybe 6.5.
Damn, good
really?
God,
maybe.
You're being.
Maybe. I'm just. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. Go.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Hey,
solid
yeah,
6. Fuck it. Solid 6. There.
I give it a solid 6. It was boring. Yes. It was boring.
The one thing a movie shouldn't be.
That sounds like a 4 meme.
No,
sounds like a 4.
But I mean, it was no Fantastic Four. That movie was a mess.
What did you guys name?
We didn't rate Fantastic Four.
Was that 4 too harsh? What'd you guys give Fantastic Four?
A 1 was too high.
Look, so again, Batman is.
If you could give negative points.
It was very drab movie. The fight scenes were okay. I mean, there's technically a story there. Technically, it's basically it follows some sort of a semblance of a movie.
It's a hard to follow.
Yeah.
Way too over.
But the point is, there are movie elements there that they're kind of done. Yeah, like it follows the movie plot. You know, there's 3 acts technically. So on that alone,
you're giving a pity.
Just let him. Just let him. That's his.
You know what it is? I think
it's a DiCaprio Oscars. What you're doing right there.
If you watch a regular movie without knowing really comics, like if you're just a
7 out of 10.
No. If you're someone that actually likes comics and goes in there, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Yeah. Even if you don't like comics, it's still kind of confusing.
Passable.
It's kind of confusing.
But it's
kind of like, okay, what happened here? It's just like it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, but that's why, like I said, I give it a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 6. That's it. Yeah.
There's some tough judges here.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I want to be like positive. I would be the first to admit that I'm fucking scared for the DC like universe.
Oh, I've been scared.
Other than the television series?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the movie cinematic.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Like.
Be honest.
Yeah.
You're on record.
You're on record.
I think
you're amongst friends.
I would like to give it like a very weak 7 because I saw enough. Like for me, at least, even when it was like slow and like boring, like I was still into it because I wanted it to be like, oh, it's good. Like it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna get good.
I don't know, bro. It sounds like a 4.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. Before Roger goes, we skipped Eli. Eli, what do you give it?
But he's the fact checker.
A 6?
Okay.
A 6?
Yeah, like if I was a professional grader, I'd probably give it a 6. But
hey, man, you're graded with a 7.
Yeah, and I don't know.
You don't want to know mine.
Go,
tell me.
Go, Roger.
3.5.
3.5
out of 10. Out of 10.
And here's another thing: if what we're mostly doing right now is comparing it to the Marvel movies,
No.
Like compared to Marvel,
you guys are mentioning how they're doing it.
Marvel, that's a lot lower, but
yes.
No.
Well, there's some Marvel movies that I would not rate higher than
Which
this.
one? Thor.
Thank you. 2.
Like
Iron
Thor
Man
2
3.
okay.
Iron Man 2 was kind of weak in my
Thank
opinion.
Thank you.
It was fucking ridiculous.
Terrible.
Like I would give those 5s. Iron Man 3, I'd give it like a fucking 2.
No, Iron Man 3 was just.
He said Iron Man 2.
Thor, the villain is a fucking black hole, dude. I mean, I wouldn't grade any of those higher than this.
Wait, which
Thor 2, Dark World, whatever.
It wasn't a black
It's
hole.
not
It was
a
Malekith.
black hole,
I
yeah.
know, but
The Doctor.
Oh,
but
Roger,
that's there's not really. And then the first Thor, he
Now,
freaking.
you're just hating on Marvel Universe right now, dude.
You're the number 1 hater on DC,
I'm
guys.
not. Dave, whoa. First of all, I'm not hating on
Caesar,
that.
you got some hater in your fridge? I'll drink it. I'll drink it. If he calls me a hater,
Do you want to line it with a little bit of salt on the rim, man?
Yeah, you got some lime?
First of all, you're giving it a weak 7 for a movie that you're like, oh, dude, that's just gonna be sick.
You told me to grade it, and I did.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it in the bedroom.
Keep it in the
bedroom. Keep it in your pants, Danny.
You're giving it a weak 7, so that's saying enough about you about this movie. So don't say Marvel Universe is bad. If you're giving that movie a
when did I say Marvel Universe was bad?
Right now.
No,
When?
he was
I'm
saying
glad the attention's diverted.
he's not comparing it to Marvel. As not compared it to Marvel, because he can pull out some shit that Marvel didn't do well, which he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Exactly. Thank you. Danny just wants to hate, and you attacked me.
I wasn't hating.
All right, so 3.5 why?
Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah,
Explain. Explain.
My 1s and my 2s, if I gotta go just from a general like Marvel DC universe type of thing.
Don't do Marvel DC universe, just as a movie.
Yeah, that's what I rated it on.
3.5 as a movie, like John said, I couldn't follow. And the only reason I'm not giving it a 3, the only reason I'm giving it the 0.5, Doomsday's purpose was to kill Superman. That happened. Kryptonite was used in the fight for Batman vs Superman. That's the reason Batman was able to capitalize that fight. That's pretty much.
Those are all comic book reasons.
That's the only reason they get the 0.5.
Isn't that what
it's not even a 3.
I mean, I understand,
Yeah.
but look, I'm trying to say it as...
He did it as a movie.
Yeah,
I get
It's a
like I
movie
said,
first.
I did it as a movie as well.
Okay.
There was literally it got a low score.
As a fan,
I did it as a movie because, and the reason it got a low score is because the plot was terrible.
Fair enough.
It was
terrible.
To be fair, he's not wrong.
It's terrible, dude.
Yeah,
it was I loved it. Look at the aesthetic. The aesthetic of it was delicious. I loved it. Like the fights, the grittiness that I like of Zack Snyder. I loved it. But the writing,
the movie was a mess.
I literally the whole first act. Literally, the first act of it, I was like, dude, come on, really? Like, literally, if they would have just started the movie from where Batman's stuff started. What did he say?
He just mumbled.
He just walked that way.
He didn't like my rating. I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, like literally, if you would have started the movie off like second act going forward, I would have gave it a 7.
But then it would have been like an hour movie or 2.
Which should have been.
It was like 2:45, wasn't it? I think The Force Awakens was shorter.
Long,
2.5, I think.
It was 2.5.
That movie did not need to be that long. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, dude, that's why I was like, that's the reason it got a 4 for me because it dragged.
Yeah, that movie should not have been that long.
Like, if it had good writing, and it was that long.
Okay. Caesar.
I give it like a 5.
A 5.
5.
Wow, I feel pretty generous with that rating.
It was, everything.
Who are you trying to impress?
I can't, dude.
Every point's been, said is that,
But what to you, like specifically?
Well, to exactly what you were saying, it was the hopping around. To me, it was like I felt like the story was hopping around from one place to another that had very little connection.
It was a mess. All over the place.
Yeah, and then finally in the second half of the second act, it starts to come together. Like, okay, we're starting to see right around when they start to fight. Like, okay, I could see where everything's going. And then I tell Daniel as soon as the lightning started coming out of that big white thing, it's like, okay, they're gonna butcher the fuck out of Doomsday, and they did. And so, I mean, from a movie alone, like as is, it's still a 5. Like,
hey, man, it's your rating.
It's.
I gave it a 6.
You gave it a 6.
Yeah, we both gave it a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 6 as well.
Yeah.
Slightly above average.
Yeah, it's slightly above average. I thought.
For me, the only reason it gets that 6 is because they killed Superman. Sorry, I was really happy about that. Very happy. I was the only person that clapped.
Yeah.
Thanks for leaving me out to hang.
I didn't leave you to hang.
Like I said, I was happy, but I don't clap in theaters.
No, but I was happy with Doomsday coming in and killing. I didn't like his origin.
No,
I didn't like that. Yeah. The Batman stuff brings it up to like the 4.
Yeah,
that's the reason for me. The
Batman's was
convoluted plot.
All right, so
it was ridiculous.
6.
He's doing the average.
Yeah, 4. 6.
6.
Eli gave it a 7.
It's gonna
no,
be
he gave it a 6.
He gave it a 6.
I can't believe I agree.
You.
What's the average?
Divided by
8.
There's something. Yeah, it was like a collage.
I think I fucked up.
No.
4.8. That's exactly right. Yeah.
So wait, with 6?
No,
4.
3 6s, 1 7.
I gave it
4 6s.
Don't insult my intelligence.
Okay, you gave it a 4, right?
Yeah.
4.
But you know what? I'm watching it 2 more times this weekend.
No, you gave
and
it
it's
6,
not
right?
bad enough where I'm
gave
gonna
it a
dread
6.
watching it. I'll watch it again. I won't.
What did you give
bitch
it, a
about
7?
it, but it's just gonna be like.
Soul is doing the average.
3.5, right, Roger?
So that we can say, well, there it is. Gives
Caesar
it
was a 5.
A 5 for Caesar?
An overall.
Yeah.
We're gonna start doing this.
How many
now.
we said? 8.
An overall grade.
8. So there it is.
That's 39. That's around the Rotten Tomato, almost around the Rotten Tomato.
That sounds about right.
So it's 40%. Yeah, 4 out of 10. The average of well, there it is a
4 out of 10.
Wow. 4 out of 10.
Sounds about
As
right.
a DC fan, this hurts.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
As a DC fan,
again,
you know what really hurts is that Zack Snyder is doing Justice League 1 and 2.
Again, we literally predicted most of this.
Mm-hmm.
And you even predicted Superman dying.
But there were some
Thank
parts,
you, by the way. I'm 3 for 3 now.
He did predict
People
Superman
that
dying.
listen.
One solace that I have is that the fanboys, and I'm talking about the super hardcore fanboys that were saying this was gonna murder the MCU.
Well, they still believe it.
Suck.
Yeah, they still
No, the thing is, they still believe it.
Yeah, they think Disney
They think that. Yeah, they think this movie's great.
That's like illogical.
You don't gotta make it Marvel DC. Just know your time will come.
You don't need to make a
Your
Civil
time will
War
come when the Marvel Universe will
No,
end.
it's not. That's not my whole thing. My whole thing is my ignorance of fanboys, regardless of what side you're on.
When it comes out, this is the best movie ever.
But that's what I'm saying. They still think that this
like
movie
you
is
guys
the
with the Dark Knight
greatest thing
Rises.
ever. Oh, wait.
Oh, it was actually good.
We're not saying it was
At the end of the day, that's just
You're the dissenting opinion on that one.
No, I'm not.
No, he's not.
So are these two.
It was.
That's dissenting. That's enough. We all vote them.
No,
Kill
see, he
them.
thinks it's Fantastic Four. You guys think it's just eh. There's a huge difference there.
It's holier than Swiss cheese. That fucking movie.
Fantastic Four was.
No. Fantastic Four is horrible. I'm not saying it's that bad, but it has so many fucking plot holes. That shit wouldn't stay above water for a second.
It's not about that.
Like I get it. I understand.
Right. You know, all right. Take a sentence.
That was our review.
That was our review.
Overall is
4 out of 10.
40 out of 100.
40%.
So we came to Rotten. I didn't want to go to Rotten Tomatoes. We wanted to beat Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes is like 30, isn't it?
37.
That's what we
That's literally what we average right now.
How much?
Like in the 30s.
We averaged 39.
Like 39 point fucking.
Yeah.
4, 9.
But in conclusion,
semantics.
But in conclusion, I'll give my last little. I'll give my last
this
little
movie
line.
Was not worth me waiting in line that long.
It was 31% officially as of right now.
Told you.
I'll give my last little line of Batman fanboyism. Batman 1 between Batman versus Superman.
Just like the comics. All right. We have SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram. Follow us. We hope to have a website one day. We're working on it.
I hope to have a good DC universe.
You're not fucking wrong.
All right.
You do. It's a television.
Well,
yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, there it is.
There it is.
Ahí está.